Good morning, SPC 1010 students. Again, this is Melissa Parker, your instructor for the course, and I wanted to welcome you to week 2. You've made it through week 1, and we are going to move forward. The next thing that you will do this week, you do have some discussion questions, of course, to complete, as well as 2 assignments that are due by Sunday at midnight of week 2. Also, you will be beginning to write and submit your outline and the written script of what you will say in your 2 to 3 minute self-introductory speech using an object. So for instance, I might compare myself and my life to an orange or a bag of Skittles, or I have seen a ton of different ideas ranging from a Labrador Retriever to a Swiss Army knife to a globe to a certain kind of candy, different types of flowers. The list just goes on and on for the possibilities. Now in the classroom you will see that there are 4 items for you to review under classroom materials. Introductory speech. Don't confuse this with informative. We're working on our introductory speech. Again, it's 2 to 3 minutes long. You will see in the classroom under classroom materials, you will find an example, and this one is using basketball as an example of how to self-introduce. There is an outline template that I promise if you start using this template now, you will be much better prepared down the road. In that template, there will be one for each type. You will also find the instructions that explain what you are to do and what your time frame is. Again, it's 2 to 3 minutes. And then also, and I'm going to show you on the board, the grading rubric. And I want to talk with you just a little bit about how your grade will come about and where I've seen students make mistakes early on that are 100% preventable through paying attention, reading the instructions, and reviewing the grading rubric and listening to my instructions. So bear with me as I am going to raise the screen here and we'll talk through pretty quickly just the different items, okay? So for this first speech, there will be the following breakdown. It is worth 50 points, and so cumulatively, progressively, we will have higher and higher point values for these presentations. But to start, we're going to start at 50 points. You will get 5 points for your introduction. And one thing that I want to make mention of in the introduction, you do not have to say, hello, my name is Melissa, and today I'm going to introduce myself using an orange or using a bag of Skittles. You just go right into your introduction. Similarly to the example in the classroom on basketball, he begins with an opening statement. Did you know the game of basketball was created in 1891 at a Massachusetts YMCA training facility? Now, of course, if that were me, I would have known that Massachusetts was a difficult word for me, and through practice would make sure that I had that pronunciation down. It's one of those words that I do struggle with. Then I will be looking also at the body, that you have an organized, that your main points are clearly identified. And so, for instance, in the basketball example, he says, like the basketball, I am energetic, like the color orange. He says, like the basketball, I am energetic, like the color orange, and I have a worn yet tough covering and am well-rounded. So he gives you those 3 examples that you'll see that he works through. So similarly for yours, I will want you to identify those 3 main points. And then also that you are concise. It's going to be very important moving forward that you respect those time limits. And for this one, it's 2 to 3 minutes. Then you can see here the bulk of your grade comes from the delivery, okay? So 20 out of your 50 points come from the delivery. So things like vocal variety, so that you're not speaking just in a monotone voice, so that when you need to use emphasis, that your voice raises, and that when you need to have a more even tone, that you do so. So for using the basketball example, one of his lines, he says, "It was easy for me to observe the situation and quickly determine what I did not want to become." So he uses emphasis on the word not. And in his example, he actually capitalizes the word not. And so that reminds him that he wants to emphasize that. Another item, and I put a star by it because it is one of the most common, I don't want to say mistakes, but obstacles that new speakers have to overcome, is their pace. So it's very important that you work on your pace and do not speak too quickly, as one of the biggest signs of nervousness is speaking too quickly. Now, I speak very quickly. I know I have a quick pace. It's usually because I'm very excited about my subject matter. So over the years, I've had to train myself to speak at a more comfortable pace. Enthusiasm and confidence, and this will come with time. Of course, if you choose topics that you're excited about, then you're likely to be more enthusiastic about that topic. And then pauses and fillers. On this one, I will be counting things like ums. But there are other examples of these pauses and fillers to these filler words like or like, so it doesn't have to be necessarily just but any type of filler that's distracting. You know is another common filler word. And then finally, your conclusion. And your conclusion should tie directly back to your introduction and summarize those main points. So in the basketball example, again, he had 3 items that he was able to relate himself as a basketball. And so in his conclusion, he says, oh goodness, did I print the conclusion? I did. He says, "Now you understand how I am similar to my basketball. I'm energetic, I have a worn, tough cover, and I am well-rounded." So, and then the outline will be worth 10 points out of the 50. And so the outline will be due by the end of week 2, and then the speech itself will be delivered via conference call in week 3. And later today, I'm going to post the times that you can sign up. Please, please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help you through this. This first one, it's about you. I want it to be fun. It can be funny, entertaining, as well as informative. And I want you to be able to express your creativity through this first round. And then we will move forward from there. Once you get the first one done, it's smooth sailing from that point on. Again, I'm here to help. So thank you for paying attention today.